What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest this week, all the way from Germany, David Crim, class of 2019. We're going to talk about David's time at Bethany, and we're going to talk about his time in Germany. But without further ado, this is David Crim.
Wanna know by now. You wanna know by now. You wanna know by now. You wanna know. You wanna know. You wanna.
What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest this week is David Crim, all the way from Germany, class of 2019. David, thank you for taking time out of your German day to be with us.
Thank you for having me, Carlo.
We're going to do this the same way we do every episode of the Alumni Tour. David's going to tell us how he got to Bethany while traveling the United States. And then we'll take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about how David ended up in Germany and what he's doing now. A little background for David: Vegas, Buchanan, West Virginia, Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, at some point Massachusetts, back to Buchanan, West Virginia, where he graduated high school, and then now in Germany. So, David, what was it like first off moving around? You know, you started in Vegas, then to West Virginia, to PA, to Mass, to West Virginia. What was that like? And then how did you find your way here to Bethany?
It was definitely a journey, I guess you could say. I mean, whenever you move around so much and stuff, because whenever we lived in Vegas, for example, we moved around within Vegas, and when you're always going to new schools and stuff, you're always able to you're kind of forced to make friends, and that was always a benefit for me. I think later on in life that I was able to be an extrovert type of person where I can talk to people, you know what I mean, or start a conversation with just about anybody. I think it was really cool just to be able to meet so many people, you know what I mean, throughout the years and
So
whatnot, and
you
see what it's like in different parts of the US.
so you were a lacrosse player, and football player. You played
Hmm.
both you played both at Mac, and then your senior year you played both at Buchanan. You
Hmm.
came here to play lacrosse.
Yeah,
How was that the
exactly.
only way you got into Bethany, or is there another story behind your arrival here in the town of Bethany?
There's definitely a story behind it. So my brother, he was looking for colleges, and then he decided for Bethany, and that's how I even knew Bethany existed. And I was living in Canonsburg whenever he was a freshman in college. And I went and visited him often, like on the weekends and stuff, his first year of college. He had a girlfriend at the time, so I was actually hanging out with Matt May uh, every time I was at Bethany. Yeah, you can imagine it was a lot of fun. And yeah, and I remember every single time I was hanging out with Matt May and Good Night or something, I remember always thinking to myself, I will never go to this school. I'll never attend this school. I'll go somewhere else. And then in my last year at Buchanan, funny enough, I had actually already got accepted at Fairmont State University in Fairmont, West Virginia. Already put down the down payment for the room, for the room and board with my buddy Christian. We were going to go together there, and then last minute, the coach from Bethany texted me and asked if I had any kind of interest in playing at Bethany lacrosse, and then long story short, decided last minute to go to Bethany, like what I said I would never do,
Couldn't have been easy.
sport wise.
It could have been the easiest thing that happened to Danny though, because now you both are in one place, so she can come visit both of you.
Yeah, exactly. My mom is actually, I applied to, I think, I only applied to like 4 or 5 colleges, but she made me apply to Bethany because she was like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool? She actually always hinted at that. But then I told her, I was like, not gonna happen. And then she got what she wanted.
So when you came into Bethany, were you because you graduated with a communications degree? Was that always where you were going to study? Was that your focus was going to stay in communications, or did you come in and kind of do the general studies thing for a little bit?
Oh yeah, I think I came in, yeah, with the general studies idea and didn't really know what I wanted to do until I think after the first semester. And I remember I had some class with Emmy Gamble. And I somehow, through that experience in her class, I turned into a communications degree. That's how it
So
gets us.
what did you do in the communicate? Because you weren't an on-camera guy. You were a very behind the scenes. I remember a lot of camera work, a lot of Did you ever get into the technical directing side or the audio side, or were you more or less just a camera guy?
Yeah, mainly just camera actually. I mean, so I was part of how was it called? Bethany Broadcasting Network. Sorry, I couldn't think. Where I did the camera. I think maybe once or twice I did technical directing, but never really ventured out like I probably should have. Did audio, graphics. I never made the graphics, but I think a couple games I did the graphics also. So yeah, always behind the camera. I also did radio. I was also part of the radio program, where I was the sports director, responsible for setup, scheduling with DB and Zach Yates at the time. They were the head of the radio department, and then I was basically third, third in line. And I wouldn't say third in line, just under them because they were buddies. And then yeah, I also did journalism, also with Dr. Smith and his course. That was also, wrote some articles for the school website and whatnot. So yeah, basically always behind the camera. I never got in front of it.
First time on camera, huh?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
So,
say that.
Because your Bethany changes drastically. You come in, I
Yeah,
believe Scott Miller is the president at the time when you come into college. When you leave college, Dr. Tamara Rodenberg is the president. You have a bar to start your college career. You don't have a bar to end your college career. What were some of the other big changes that happened throughout your time here at Bethany? I mean, obviously, your brother graduates. You spent a lot of time in town. I know that for a fact. But what
in
else did
town.
you, like in the town of Bethany, not on
Oh,
campus?
okay, yeah. Sorry, had to think. I thought you meant Wellsburg.
No, I don't think you spent a lot of time in Wells. You might have. I don't know.
Only when I worked at Pizza Hut for a little bit for a semester.
So you had a job while you were a student.
Yeah, so that was, I think, starting my junior year. That's when I decided to stop playing lacrosse, and I got a job at Pizza Hut. I also had my internship with Andrew Woodley. So yeah, I mean, those kind of things were big changes whenever I was at Bethany. Socially, yeah, it was unfortunate that the bar had to shut down. Um, yeah, I mean, what else? What else really changed? I think,
The presidents. That's about.
yeah, that didn't affect me too much. I just was,
And what were
yeah,
the
just
changes
doing
in
my thing.
the department? Like while you were in the comm department, there was you went from covering a lot of athletic events to I think by the end you and Mr. Dumas became like really good friends because you were the only one that was willing to go and film things for him.
Dumas is my buddy. I love Dumas. Yeah, I mean, changes in the department. I know, can't even really think right now what kind of changes. I mean, journalism, that was like brought back. That was a change in the department, and then I feel like the Bethany Broadcasting Network was at its like not at its peak of all time, but I felt like we had, and then yeah, we had a lot of new kids come in, like freshmen and whatever, and that was always good. Um, Other than that, I mean, yeah, there weren't so many changes, not that I can remember at least.
Well, so let's wrap up part one with the. So you also got a minor in German.
hmm
How did that come about?
Yeah, well, I got interested in German through the students that came there for the semester. That's how I kind of got like my first, I guess you'd say, taste of the German culture. And I always used to tell them all, I was like, I'm gonna learn German, so I know that you guys are talking smack about me secretly. And then I swear to God, I like made a promise. And yeah, and then that was also what I did junior year. That was also a big change. So I had the job, and then I took on the minor German. And then I met my now wife, and that kind of motivated me a little bit more to like properly learn the language and
Well, let's not
everything.
tell that story just yet because that'll be in part two. We'll tell the whole story of
Yeah,
meeting Jess and becoming a German naturalized citizen. Um,
yeah.
so I guess my last question would be, what would you say the toughest part about being in Bethany was?
Being in Bethany, huh? I think honestly it wasn't too bad until, yeah, I mean, there were a lot of changes and with no bar. I think if I had to pick one, I would say dealing with the weather because I think there was always like I always had like some kind of like the Bethany blues, fighting against those. You know what I mean? That was definitely the hardest because whenever it would rain and or the weather would be kind of like bad outside, you didn't feel like going to class. You didn't feel like doing nothing. You know what I mean? You didn't want to hang out with anybody. You didn't want to simply just walk from Cochrane to CV, just a hike, and which now it's like seems like nothing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, especially because of being in Germany, I'm sure you walk a lot of places. I mean,
yeah, I walk every day to work. I don't.
well, so we're gonna take a pause right there. We're gonna
Okay.
go send it to KJ, Kieran, KJ done. Maple Shades Outdoors. If you haven't yet, get on Instagram, follow them, maple_shade.outdoors. Or while you're watching this video or after you watch this video, hit like and subscribe on this channel, Dingo Talk, and then hop over to Maple Shade Outdoors. Everything from hunting, fishing, setting your bows, setting your tree stands. They do all the outdoor stuff. KJ and his crew have a lot of great stuff going on. But this is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. I am Carlo Guadagnino. My guest this week, class of 2019, David Crim, all the way from Germany, and we'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? This is Kieran Dunn, founder of Maple Shade Outdoors. You're currently watching Dingo Talk with my man Carlo. If you're anything like me and you're really enjoying this content, you should like and subscribe his page. While you're on YouTube, you should probably just head over and like and subscribe Maple Shade Outdoors. Check out our page, enjoy some videos, some outdoor content. You might as well hop on Instagram, Facebook, follow us, Maple Shade Outdoors. Now that's enough about me. I'm trying to get back and watch the rest of Dingo Talk, so I'll talk to y'all later.
What's going on, Chuckleheads? I am Carlo Guadagnino. This is the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. My guest this week, all the way from Germany, class of 2019, David Crim. David told us everything about his time in Bethany. Is there anything else you'd like to say to wrap up that segment? I know we covered a bunch of things in a very short amount of time. Anything else that you'd like to, any stories or anything that you'd like to share before we get into comps?
Yeah, there was one thing I forgot to mention in the first part, and that was how I actually became a comm major. So I had said that I was in one of Emmy Gamble's classes, and and it was my first semester, and to be 100% off, or to be 100% honest, I was kind of like not taking everything so seriously. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people have experienced
Freedom of
that in
college,
their
the freedom of being on your
culture.
own.
Exactly. And I remember what was funny with ME is point in her office, while I was taking her class that first semester, and she was honest with me and told me, she had her doubts with me as a student, to say the least. And and that kind of motivated me, you know what I mean, and get through the rest of college. And then, over the years or through my time, we really built up like a good relationship, like in the classroom and outside. Like I remember my last year before graduation, I helped her move. I helped like pack up her house and stuff, like
Helped
the
her
tiny
move to the
stuff and whatever.
farm.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I remember she told me then, she's like, I had my doubts, but you proved me wrong.
Well, so on that story, I can tell you, because I also, Emmy Gamble and we had our ups, we had our downs, we had our where we just didn't talk to each other. But she was a lady. I cut her grass. We raked leaves. I mean, she was willing to, if you were willing to go help her, she was willing to pay you to do, because you can only do so much on work study. And I remember sitting down with her after I graduated and telling her about this David Crim kid. Like he's going to be in the department. The funny story is I tell this story right after I show her the video of David jumping into a pile of leaves, not realizing that there is a large stump where he dove. And
I
she
forgot
says
about
to
that.
me, I don't think David, and I said, you keep your eye on that kid. David's going to be one of the ones that surprises you. Well, and Emmy, I know she's going to watch this and she's going to hear the what I have to say next. It's the only time in my life at Bethany that Emmy Gamble looked at me and went, you know what? I didn't listen to you, but that David kid. And it's funny because that is the name that we have for you. Ed calls you that. There's a bunch of other people. That David kid.
That David kid, always.
So you get through your trials and tribulations. You have a connection there with Emmy. Is there anybody else as we go into comps, because connects us all here at Bethany, this damn test with the blue books. We'll talk about comps a little bit, but is there anybody from the department that really helped you with the studying or with the senior project or anything like that?
Yeah, so I actually, so Dr. Sullivan was my advisor through my time in the communications department. It was originally ME whenever I first became comm major, and then I had switched to him because of the track that I was on. So, he always we always had meetings, typical senior project meetings and whatever to see your progress and stuff. So, he kind of helped me keep the organization in line. And then Dr. DeLulius, I forgot to mention that also in the first part with the changes to the comm department. He was a new professor in the department. And I had I forget what the class was exactly. I think it was media writing I had in my last year at Bethany, and that's how I got to know him a little bit better also. And I remember, I think it was one of the first days of class, I started talking about senior project, telling him I wanted to get on top of it sooner than later. I was actually done with my senior project a couple months before it was even due. With the help of Dr. DeLulius, he's the one who helped me come up with the theory for my paper. And I have him to really thank for almost everything with my senior project, him and Dr. Sutherland. And then on top of that, Joseph Dumas, he was always during my study breaks. I remember I would always go to the station and just chat with him the whole time, and that was always fun because he's always a very interesting person to talk to.
So when you passed comps, what was because you already have decided at that point you're going to Germany. You're leaving. You're moving to Germany. So when you pass comps and you walk out those doors, what is the feeling for you?
Honestly, with the Germany thing on the side, I really thought to myself, oh God, thank God I'm done with school, just in general, because I remember after high school, I was like, I can't believe I'm studying 4 more years. And then, but I was like, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm thinking to myself, I never have to go to school again. And it was honestly the only thing on my mind.
So once graduation comes and Jess is here, your wife, she's here for graduation, and it ends up being a very beautiful day. Your mom, your brother, his girlfriend, now fiance, is there. How long in between graduation and the flight to Germany?
10 days. I didn't waste any time. So Jess and I had got engaged in the year before, in December 2018. And yeah, I mean, she actually wanted to come to the US. And I told her, she already had her own apartment and job and, steady income and everything. Hey, wouldn't it just be better if I come to you? Not that you have to, and I guess you would say the benefits are a little better here in Germany. Not trying to talk back about the US. Still my home country, or the motherland. But I had to say it. I knew I'd get a good giggle out of you. But yeah, we had decided that and like I said, we didn't really waste any time on it because we were kind of just sick and tired of having a long distance relationship.
Well, let's peel that back a little bit, because you were starting to tell a story in part one of, so you go to Germany as a junior.
Mm-hmm.
How do you meet Jess? How does this all become where your life is now?
Interested in the whole German culture with the German students who Bethany for the one semester. I think that was sophomore year at some point, and then then I just wanted to visit Germany, and my brother came with me, and we made a big tour through Germany. The first time we were there, we were in Heidelberg, and then we went to Strasbourg, and then we went to Torben, Greta, He's he's he just finished his comps actually at Bethany. He's also a Bethany alum. He comes from Germany. We visited him in the southern part of Germany, went to Switzerland, Munich, Berlin, Netherlands, Amsterdam, came back down, and then flew out. And funny, throughout that whole journey, at the end of it, whenever I was in the plane, well, I had actually seen Jess in the waiting, the place where people wait to board the plane in the airport. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, that girl's cute, you know what I mean? And then, whatchamacallit, then we boarded the plane, and craziest thing is that she was actually originally sitting in the very front left of the plane. I was sitting in the very back right. And I don't know why it was like this, but I think the plane could fit 300 people or 300 passengers in it. And there was literally like 20 people in this plane total. And so the stewardess said, hey, we want to put everybody kind of in the middle. Like you can pick your own seats and everything. It doesn't matter where you sit. We just want everybody in one area because it's easier than to serve you guys. And then I got lucky and I was right behind her. She asked me for a pen, and she asked me if like how to fill out that little customs form that you get on the pay coming into the US. And I told her, I was like, it's not really important. Like you can leave it. Then we both had a connection in South Carolina, I think Charleston, somewhere up there. It's irrelevant. And yeah, we really hit it off. I think we both had to wait like 3-4 hours for our connecting flight. And she was on her way to America for the first time just to visit a friend that she knew in North Carolina. And yeah, then we hit it off and we decided to have a long relationship. And in those 2 years that we had a long distance relationship, I visited her like every summer, every winter, basically anytime I had time off from school. And then one summer I took a German class here. That was also really interesting. And then, yeah, like I said, we got engaged December 2018. And yeah, then I came here. We got married in May of 2019, like shortly also after graduation.
10 days to 10
And
to 15 days after graduation. 10 days to get to Germany, 5 days to get the paperwork done and get, here's my ring and let's go.
right. And then and now we have she is 9 months going on 10. We have a beautiful little daughter. Her name's Ava Marie. And so yeah, it really worked out for the best.
So and you are working with eyeballs. You're an optometry assistant. I don't know how it translates. I mean, you're the sales guy. You're the guy that sets me for the glasses once the doctor.
Exactly. So I am a sales advisor at an optometrist. It's called Miss Specs. Um, Whenever I got to Germany, I didn't find a lot of possibilities or opportunities in the comm area or communications branch. I found this job at an optometrist. So yeah, sales advisor, advise people what I would recommend frame wise or what kind of lenses they need, you know what I mean? And then adjustments on like on the glasses and whatever, and not whatever, but yeah,
So, and you
kind of
live
boring
in
myself talking about it.
it's Stuttgart, right?
What did you say?
Where in Germany do you live?
Oh, in Stuttgart. So that's like the southwest.
Okay.
Southwest, it's known for Mercedes-Benz and Porsche and Porsche. And for, man, what's the soccer team here? VfB. I think that's like the famous soccer team here. Yeah, that's what they're known for. But
So we've come to that point. I got two questions. You play a role in both of them. Let's start with, if you are talking to a prospective student, high school senior right now, or coming into their senior year in high school for next year, why would an athlete go Division III?
why would an athlete go Division III? It's a good question.
You got to be one
I
of
mean,
them in
with
the
the,
whole show.
I mean, being an athlete, you're also a student. I think with D3 and with Bethany, I'll focus on Bethany here with the D3 question.
Say D3 because the Bethany question's next.
Okay, so D3. I mean, at a D3 school, I guess it's not as demanding as it would be at a D1 or D2 school. So I guess it's a little more relaxed or chill with the whole climate of everything. You know what I mean? It's easier to manage your time, I think. Also, it's not like a D1 football team where you have 800 meetings in a day, 3 practices, a lift. You know what I mean? Like 800 things to do in one day, and then you have to be a student on top. Like I remember I played lacrosse. We had practice once a day for like 2 hours, randomly film. But other than that, yeah, I was really chill, honest.
And
I
then
mean,
to the other
sorry.
question, if you're sending somebody, you're talking to somebody up there or down in Buchanan, you're talking to a Canon Mac kid, or just anybody that's watching, why Bethany? Why would you recommend a student coming to Bethany?
Yeah, I don't want to sound Bethany's like a home, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely, the kind of friends I made, they're like my family now, you're part of my family. There's Danny, Marlon, all the guys I played not all the guys, but most of the guys I played lacrosse with, you know what I mean, that I still have contact with. Like you really build a family. It's really personal, not some big school where you're just a number. Everybody knows everybody. It's kind of like the townspeople of Bethany, like everybody knows everybody. It's really, you feel like at home. And if I was telling them why they should go to Bethany or to persuade them there, I would make sure to say it's a lot better than what it looks from the outside. You know what I mean?
Well, and you bring up the community, and that's why we have to bring this interview to an end. I have to send it to a guy we are both familiar with, Mr. Harry Chambers, because if Chambers doesn't have it, you don't need it. Trust me on that. You can get t-shirts, you can get food. I'll let Harry tell the rest of what he has available down at the store. David, thank you very much for taking time out of your German life to be with us here. This has been the Dingo Talk Alumni Tour. I am Carlo Guadagnino. My guest, David Crim, class of 2019, all the way from Stuttgart, Germany. I'm still working on my German, so I don't know if I said
Still
it right.
working on it.
Harry Chambers, go ahead and tell us about your store.
You've just watched another exciting episode of Dingo Talk, recorded in the secret lair deep in the hills of Bethany, West Virginia. Let me give a shout out to my man Don over at Maple Shade Outdoor. He's got some great stuff going on over there on YouTube and Instagram. Please make sure you check him out. Also, now available as promised, we have the second edition Bethany, West Virginia Mushroom Capital of the World t-shirts and our Chambers General Store. If we don't have it, you don't need it t-shirts. Available in all sizes. So make sure you stop by the store for a t-shirt, breakfast sandwich, or sausage biscuits and gravy, and make sure to check out those daily lunch specials. Now back to you, Dingo.
You wanna know by now.